Hey, hey.
Hey,
Hi, it's been a long time.
it's been too long, way too
I know, and we've got the galactic alignment specialist behind you
long. So
there.
he was dozing off a minute ago, but he'll get involved. He feels like he has to say something. So
So cute. Bunny ears. It's his season. We were talking about
yeah,
that the other day.
yeah, yeah. I think he's getting spring fever already. One day it's 78 degrees in New York, and then he gets all like hyper.
I know, 78 degrees down to 46 in one day.
Yeah,
That's wow. Is that
yeah,
30 degrees almost? Yeah.
yeah. That's
Wow.
that's a bigger drop than anything when I was living in LA because normally it would like you would get temperature drops, but not to that degree. Mm-mm.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's springtime though, and it does these weird things. So I
Yeah.
always tell people I'm not fooled by March. I
No, definitely. There's still time for snow. That's what I
I
said
had my
already.
sweater and my hat with me because I knew by the time the night fell, it was going to be cold.
Yeah. But it was nice to be able to open the windows and let the fresh
Mm.
air in and stuff. So
Oh, the warmth was beautiful. It's always so fun to feel that. Yeah, it was great. So you were telling me about lots of things you've heard about simulation versus what were the two?
what we're experiencing now, is it simulation or is it reality? So this
Mm.
this topic of simulation versus reality popped up, and I heard a lecture by Braden, and it just floored me. I had to listen to it a few times, and I still don't understand everything.
That's
But
great.
so simulation, he said, is like a localized experience, but everything that we experience is kind of indicating that we live outside that simulation. So he says biology shows that. And he used the analogy of like if you get a transplant, the body rejects it
Mm.
because it's not your cells. Because each one of us, our cells actually um, receive information that defines who we are as an individual. So if you're taking that out of you and giving it to somebody else, it's not recognizing it because it's not them, it's us. So the other thing he used is um, when we leave this plane of existence, we go to the other side of the veil. And that suggests that heaven, well, he says heaven is an ancient word for a world that we live in outside of the simulation.
Mm.
So death is the end of this limited physical realm, but the spirit essence continues outside the body. And the simulation exists basically as a platform for us to come in and sort of like play the little video game and learn from the experiences here. So he says how to there's a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm just gonna throw everything out and then we can pick apart each thing. So he says time is a concept that he says if you look at astronauts, they age differently than we do here. So if they stay up there long enough and return, they will be younger while we're aging the normal rate, they're aging slower. So they're saying that deleted text from mystical texts, books, support that it takes a specific life form or genetic energy to hold the energy of the soul. So we have to have the physical body to maintain everything spiritual. I don't know if that's making sense. To maintain consciousness while we learn from the physical world. So it takes a certain genetic makeup for us to do both.
Spirit
And
and body.
yes, And he said fractal parameters that you see like in snowflakes and crystals. It kind of like shows that there is an energy because it responds to that energy and it forms those shapes. And it's all geometric patterns that happen in nature that kind of support this. So the other thing that they mentioned was, how do you think the simulation will end? So he's saying that the two schools of thoughts is treated like a computer program. So it will either end because it runs out of memory because we have too much input, or some major event will cause it to crash. But they're saying that there's another alternative, which is it will never end as long as we keep looking and questioning. So he says the sheer act of looking into something creates an informational energy that adds on to the universe. So the universe continuously expands because we're continuously questioning and looking for answers. And
And
we create an expansion through that creative inquiry, I guess.
yeah, because we are phase conjugate mirrors.
Right.
And that's the mirror. There's a science of the image that's been used by not such great things, making us look into this mirror that's sort of like simply put, like, hey, everything's outside of me. It's,
Mhm.
the savior complex, all these things that are sort of out there and not in here. And so there's this sort of beautiful coming together of all of it, which is the end of the simulation, to my understanding.
Yeah.
So it's really cool because it's like this science of the image. I mean, we are in a world of mirrors. It's just that it's been distorted to making us look in a direction of fear
Right.
rather than a direction of love.
Right.
That mirror, when it's done in love, is beautiful, and we create beautiful form. And what's happened is sort of the creation of a hell realm, to my understanding, through this. And it is a technology because we are a technology. Our
Right.
biology is a technology, which is what you're talking about earlier with the physical container has to be there for the light. So we're this unique fusion of light and matter,
Mhm.
which is
Mhm.
so very cool.
Which is why they're trying to hack into it, because there is evil forces around. So it's through distractions, it's through keeping us sick when we're not in our top form to connect with our spiritual side. And what was the other thing that I wrote a note down about living fearlessly? Yeah, the next thing they're trying to do is integrate computer stuff. I'm going to say that instead of using
Yeah.
the abbreviation because I don't want to have us targeted.
The two letters.
Yeah. Um, and Apple Intelligence, or maybe that might have done it too. But anyway, um, um, they're trying to integrate that into our physical being,
Oh my
which,
God. Oh my God. I don't care.
boy, it will destroy that physical. We need to stay physical, we need to stay natural,
Yeah,
and they're
because
trying
the
to integrate that to create a hybrid and disconnect us from the spiritual side and the
and we
connect.
we we already are hybrid in many aspects too, because things
well
have come into us it shouldn't be. I mean,
well yeah, but
plastics.
you knowingly accept it, it's different than unknowingly being exposed to it, because it's a conscious thing.
I think
And
some of it too is like it heals you, and then it's going to make you telepathic and all these things. It's like people have gone so far away from the human biology, which is self-healing by itself. And telepathy is actually just one of the most minute gifts that we have, is what
Mhm,
I've been told. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's literally nothing.
mhm.
Um, it's akin to talking on a phone. or
Right.
texting someone, which is, talk about a simulation. That's what your phone is. It's a simulation of what the human being can do automatically, naturally, if we weren't poisoned and blocked and all these things, which we're coming out of that. I mean, this is
Right.
not to be too worried about all that, and that next step of putting that in, well, I think we'll just be so shocked at how many people choose that
Yeah.
because life is amazing. I mean, you can do all this stuff without that. You don't need that to do it.
Well, they do a good narrative, and they make it, they use the latest and greatest, sexy terms to make it sound like, oh, the human body is flawed. It
Right.
can't heal itself. It doesn't have a natural defense mechanism. It had, everything that they say, which is not right, it's not true.
That's why
And
I
then
go, oh my God, I don't care.
yeah, and they convince you, oh, I can have, a little thing implanted in my head. Well, if they can hack my credit card account, what makes you think they can't hack your brain?
They already have hacked people's brains.
Oh yeah, I know. That's a whole other, that's a whole other
Our
topic.
brains have all been hacked. And I myself included, I always include myself in that because I think we have to realize the simulation we've lived in our entire lives is very
Yeah,
much a simulation. So
yeah,
it's affected all of us. I said that to somebody once who was like, oh, I haven't been affected. And I was like,
mhm.
we
Well,
have.
you said something the other day which really hit me because I'm like, where are our ideas coming from? Like, why we, this is the way it has to be. Why? Who said that? Who told you that? Because then, you're starting to question everything because it's like, everything they did was to separate us from our family, from our connections with people. And they want to keep us isolated and in fear when, we're divine beings. And when we realize that and remember that, we can accomplish anything. There's nothing that we cannot do. There's, when they say, nothing's impossible, it's true because they make us think that, oh, we're limited. And
Yeah.
then
And
when they
even,
isolate you and you don't have that support system, they're making money off of us because then, oh, wow, they can charge more rent because everybody's living separate and they're isolated, and then they can put the fear in you, and then you don't have that support system around you to kind of back you up and
and
hold you.
there's this very deep sort of insidious thing with thoughts and ideas in
Yeah.
general. Like just think about what you just said. You can do anything. And so when you think of that and you think, you can do anything, you're magical.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's
Mm.
this phony, fake,
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
impossible to do when we really can do anything
Right.
when we put our focus and our specific focus on it. And then together, whoa, look out. This
Yeah.
is real.
Yeah.
But it's not that kind of, that's that weird thought thing that comes in where it's like all of a sudden you think that it's fake and then, well, they're just out of their minds or,
Mhm.
like that's a big one for people with self-healing.
Yeah.
Your self-healing ability may lead you to a doctor. This is the
True.
reality of what
True.
self-healing is. I'm
Yeah.
not saying you don't need these things,
Right.
but in combination with the right thing in the right place and the right person and the right connected to your source connection, you will be led to every single thing you need down the road to the healing.
Right. Because
You're
even the research that's out there about eliminating stress, prayer, the healing, the turnaround stories that you hear from people, it's just it's real. It is real.
Yeah, but it's not even this thing of religiosity. It's
No.
literally like you will be led to every single thing that you need in order to function. Let's get some of the junk out of the way first.
Yeah.
Like let's like get some of the toxins out. Like let's face it. Let's clean up our water supply. Oh, how I love that.
Mhm.
That is so huge because that's consciousness. We are made of it. It's flowing through us. It's so important that it's cleaned because it's going to change. It's going to change everything really quickly when that starts happening. The
Yeah.
pollution of that alone has been detrimental to the human race.
Yeah, and then it's forcing your body to constantly be in a detox mode, and it's draining your energy level and everything. And yeah, and the thought of the positive thought too is a big thing,
Well, yeah, because you got to get your head clear.
Yeah.
You can't think about these things with a clear head because it's that woo woo,
Yeah.
like everything's great. We can do anything. It's like, no, you can't jump off a building. You
No,
need to think clearly so that you don't do something stupid.
right.
This isn't the point. The point is that we can do amazing things, incredible things when we start to get cleaned up, cleared out, and we start getting our focus back to where it should be.
And then
Start
we get,
living the way we should be.
yeah, we get our natural gifts back because we all have the telepathy. We all have the psychic. When you're young, you can sense things, you have that gut instinct. And then when you get older, you lose it.
And my
And then,
sister said the sweetest thing to me the other day. She said, my friend's daughter was expecting a baby, and she had told me about it a couple weeks ago. And then I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, the baby's here. And like a couple hours later, she got a text from her friend saying, the baby's born. Look,
yeah,
cute little
yeah.
peanut. Um,
Well,
really, except she said I was kind of scary. And I was like, well, get used to it because
yeah.
start happening a lot more. You
But that
know,
happens a lot too. I think about somebody and then they call me either that day or the next day. And I'm like, I was thinking about you the other day. And it's like always happens.
yeah, that happens to a friend of mine every single time I call her. It's so funny.
Mhm.
She always says that. And I have these certain things too, but it's different. Everybody's different. We're going to do it at our different paces. And we have this, like you were saying in the beginning, if you put your part of your body into someone else, they can't assimilate to it because we have a very unique God code in each one of us written
Mhm.
in our own DNA. But it's
Definitely.
even more than that. It's bigger than that. It's light. We are a unique fusion of light and matter. So really, really cool. And very unique to each one of us too, which is really neat. But yeah, so I'm feeling really the not so much tapping into gifts, but I'm feeling definitely like coming out of a simulation. Everything just seems so surreal. It's really
Yeah.
wild. Like, oh, when I told you I had that experience the other day of
Yeah.
meditating, that was crazy.
Yeah.
So I'll share that really quickly. I just looked at my clock and it said 11:53. And I sat in the silence for a little while and I thought I'd just check the time quickly, looked back, and it was 11:46.
Wow.
And I literally was like, did I mistake that it was 11:43? No, I did not. It was 11:53 because I was literally thinking, okay, I'll do this for 20 minutes. I'll be done at around 12:10, 12:15. And I look back and I gained 5 minutes. Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. Like
Yeah.
I literally was like, what just happened? Now I know that silence and taking that time bends time because
Mhm.
it bends time in a way internally where you feel more relaxed.
Yeah.
You slow down.
Yeah.
You start to get a little more centered and connected to your source connection, and then you go about your day and it's not quite so frantic. I remember that from years ago working, and I would take a few minutes in the morning, even 10 minutes if that's all I had, whatever.
Mhm.
Um, and it was incredible. It was like my whole day was different because
Yeah.
of that. So I knew
Yeah.
there was a bending of time there, but to actually see it happen was pretty
That's
exciting.
that's amazing. That's
That's
like,
so
yeah, that's
cool.
well, like with everything that's going on now, it's really cool to get a visual of it because people have been talking about when you meditate, you actually don't age while you're meditating. Now, you could take that any way you want. It makes sense to me in a physical sense because if you're slowing down, your body functions because you're in a relaxed state. I could see where you're slowing down the time and you're not you know, aging with all the stress that we do on a day-to-day basis. So I could kind of see that. But for you to see it physically like that in such a short amount of time, it's like, wow.
It was really cool.
Oh,
I was quite
yeah,
blown away.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and think about that. What's happening when you slow down and your body is going to kick into regenesis. It's going to
Mhm.
kick into its self-healing ability
Yeah,
because you're relaxing and it goes into sort of an auto repair.
yeah. And we don't do that. That's the problem. Because I was just listening to two doctors talking about how you can actually reverse Alzheimer's. And basically it was saying sleep. And the thing is, you have to get into that deep sleep. So when you take, because I've heard some doctors say if you can't get to sleep, take half a Benadryl, it'll help you. Like, yeah, it helps you go to sleep, but you don't get into that deep sleep. And you need that deep sleep for your body to be able to repair itself. And we're not giving the body a chance to do that. Same thing with fasting. Like a 3-day fast has a rhyme and reason to it because each day that you're fasting, your body goes into a different state. And it's only by the third day where you're actually removing the toxins and the dead debris that's in your body. And without
Wow.
that, you can't really heal yourself or stay healthy, kind of. So,
Incredible. I didn't know that.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's a whole lot of stuff that's the information's out there, but they're suppressing it all so that, we stay sick and
Or we're suppressing it because we
or
don't
with
want to think about it, or we don't want to dig a
do
little deeper into
you know
that. Like,
the work.
yeah, I mean, this is the programming. I mean, honestly, everybody needs to realize we have been. So you think about things differently when you start thinking about them differently, and then you go, oh, okay. Like
But if
this
you,
experience was so incredible for me, but I'm also like, what does that mean? You know,
yeah,
and is that really real? Did that really happen? I don't know,
yeah,
but I think it did. I mean, I'm pretty clear on a lot of things, like, especially
yeah,
when I'm looking at that, like timing for that.
yeah. Or
So,
you witnessed an actual glitch in the matrix.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
which a
did.
lot of people do. They see all these strange anomalies and they're like, oh, that's a glitch in the matrix. And you just
It's a
witnessed.
it's a glitch in whatever simulation
Right.
because time is really tweaking out right now. And you can feel it. That's why if you're sensitive, you can feel it. I think Axel's feeling it.
You just
It's just like,
okay,
yeah, I'm just gonna
leave it.
relax.
He just passed out.
Oh, I was gonna say about sleeping too, to just let lovely, beautiful people know to do that anytime. Like if you can't get to sleep at night, I don't think it's something we should worry about. Except it's very difficult with a work schedule to be like, oh, I have to be at work from 9 to 5 or 10 to 6 or whatever, and I can't go take a nap. You know, in Spain they have this thing called siesta.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be really
Actually,
nice if we had that here, but
I actually asked my boss a couple
can
weeks
we
ago,
do that?
if I'm on a lunch break, can I take a nap? And he's like, yeah, as long as you're on your lunch break. So why
That's
don't we?
what I used to say that at my old job too. Like we should have a room where, like hammocks and maybe massage. Like you could go get like a 10-minute massage
Oh,
and then sleep for the next 40 minutes. It'd
yeah,
be so much better for you than eating lunch, even.
yeah. Oh,
You could
yeah.
have
No,
a little snack
yeah.
later, but you
I
don't
can't
need a whole entire
close.
hour for lunch, right?
Yeah,
Crazy.
lunch slows me down at work. I can't do it.
I
So,
used to
I'll,
see that all the time. People would come back from lunch and be like, I'm exhausted because
yeah.
usually you're just not doing what we should be doing.
Mhm.
But see, that's the other thing too. If it's a weekend or you have a day off, like I would say, take that nap. Like sometimes I sleep so much better during the day than I do at night. Like I'll
Mhm.
be in my bed at night just tossing and turning and itching and like, oh my God. And then the next afternoon, when I have time, I will fall asleep into a deep nap.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, that's so good. And then of course I worry, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
Mhm.
No, you needed that at that
Yeah,
time. And
yeah,
maybe your body and your biology is doing that for a reason too. So don't
yeah.
worry. I mean, we are designed in the image of our creator. I mean, we're designed in this massive way that is very, very, very bio-intelligent.
Yeah.
And it's going to do what it needs to do at certain times for you
And
specifically.
and it's telling you that, and we don't listen to it, so we ignore it.
Sometimes, yeah, and sometimes we do, or there's an awful lot of this weird thought process of feeling bad. Like, oh, I
Mhm.
shouldn't do that. That's lazy.
Mhm.
And I have friends who say that all the time, where they're like, I'm gonna get moving today. I gotta go do, well, I gotta make sure I do this. I don't wanna, you know, because you don't want to be lazy.
Mhm.
And I'm like, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Mhm.
You really don't. Like if you feel like lounging all day long, you should probably do that. He
That
knows. Axel knows. I don't have to tell Axel anything. He knows. He's like, yeah, I've been trying to tell you guys this for a really long time. He is the galactic specialist.
yeah, yeah, for a reason.
So, yeah, we talked about that at the beginning, and well, it's being proven. So,
But if you look at it, and I always used to say this when I was growing up, I was like, look, if you look at nature, it's so balanced until we humans come in and disrupt it with whatever, But it's always been balanced, you know,
yeah,
prey versus predator versus whatever, the diurnal cycle of day and night and all. It's balanced.
Mhm.
And everything you need is in nature to heal yourself.
Yeah, think about false light. This is such a fascinating one for me.
The blue light.
False light.
Yeah.
It's all around us.
Yeah.
It's fake.
Yeah.
It's gross. It
Oh,
makes
yeah.
your eyes hurt.
Yeah.
It's not natural. Sunlight never does that to me.
Mhm.
Look, I'm not upset that I can turn a light on and see when it's dark outside. I like that. We should
Mhm.
have that. Just should be maybe a little bit more natural and healthy.
Mhm.
Um, and then what does this do when it dies, this light? It's going to
Mhm.
go into some kind of landfill. I mean, this is
Yeah.
insanity that we've been living, but it is like a false light. They call it the false light matrix.
Mhm.
But really, this is it. I mean, this is it entirely and then blue screens and computers and training devices for these types of things. We're not supposed to. I mean, look at the difference with this light behind me. This is the
Oh,
window light. This is the
yeah.
sunlight. And the sun
You're
is not
oh,
even out today. It's
you're
gray.
you have a halo around you.
That's my other false light there too. So don't be fooled. That's no halo. But yeah, it's like, this is the kind of thing too. When I started thinking about that, I really started to realize like I'm so sick of false light.
Mhm.
It's like so boring to me.
Mhm.
I don't want to be in that. I have no interest in it, you know. And even some of the quote unquote technologies they've come out that are supposed to help us with these sort of light machines. This is
Yeah.
great, but really just give me some sunshine any day of the week. I don't
Yeah.
care about that. And I know how I feel when I'm in it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really about this getting back to the earth for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's me. That's my choice. Other people may benefit from these things. I don't want to judge it. It's not my place to do
Mhm.
that. But false light is false light. When it's fake, it's fake.
Yeah.
Let's face it, you know.
If you can take a couple minutes before you go into work and just kind of look up, look around, look at nature. Just breathe a little bit before you get into work. Because once you're in at work, it's like run, 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 constant. For 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 the other day, 2 10-hour days.
That's a beautiful
Um,
practice. And also the quiet in the morning. I mean, you
yeah.
are made of light. We are unique fusions of matter and light. So when you go in and you don't even have to close your eyes, you can keep them open. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter. Just be with you.
Mhm.
Feel that light. It's what you are. It's real stuff.
Yeah.
And it's very, very nourishing. It nourishes.
Yeah.
And then you go out and stand in nature, like you said. So
Mhm.
cool. This is so nourishing because you're going to walk into false light and have
Yeah.
to work and do your thing.
Well, not really. I'm in the dark most of the day. We work in a dark room.
You're in the dark most of the
Yeah, I'm
day.
in the
That's
dark.
kind of cool, actually. That's probably better for you. I
I,
worked
I
in a very
yeah,
false light environment
yeah,
where everything was just bright and
it's
these
true. It's true.
horrible lights. Yeah.
No, you just put a whole new spin on it because I was thinking, oh, I'm in the dark. I feel like a vampire. It's not good. And I'm like, now, so thank you.
I mean, you need light, but you're made of light.
Yeah.
We're made of this. And that's the other thing of getting in touch with.
Did somebody wake up?
Is Axel telling us, he's like, yeah, I know that. So got the best coat of fur.
He's shedding now.
Where are you going with that fur coat on? Spring's
I,
coming.
I think he has a little bit of lion head in him because he's got this little mohawk going on at the top of his head.
Andy's a punk rocker. I love
Yeah.
him even more. I love him even more. So yeah, it's amazing. This has been a really cool conversation. I want to
Mhm.
watch that Greg
Yeah,
Braden
it
thing.
was,
That's
it was, it was, I'm still like trying to grasp everything he was saying, but
it's fascinating. I mean, and as we come out of it, you can see it more clearly.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's just very funny and it's very surreal to me right now.
Mhm.
I am feeling very surreal. Like things they're always a little bizarre this time of year for me anyway, because
Mhm.
everything's changing, these sort of transitions and transformations. So
Yeah,
we'll
no,
just keep on walking right out of this illusion,
yeah,
everybody, right?
yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, I
Sorry.
was gonna say like I've noticed recently, I guess within the last few years, sometimes I'm like I feel like I'm outside my body watching myself. And I'm like, it's weird. It's like I never noticed that before, but it just seems like, you know,
That's how I feel too. It is
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
emotional thing? Is it like, we are sort of stepping out of the simulation a little more? I don't know.
Stepping a little more into the light. I feel that. But again, you can't see anything. It doesn't look
No,
different. My
no,
life is exactly the same. And you think, oh,
yeah,
this was just really worth it? Like what was all this talk about? And here we are, we're doing it.
yeah,
And yet you weren't supposed to not have this, you
yeah,
know, everything be kind of the same. It's just supposed to change.
right.
And there's just this wild shift of consciousness happening.
Mhm.
And we're just going to keep seeing more and more and more of it. And then things become just a little bit more normal.
Yeah,
It's not quite so dramatic anymore. And the drama doesn't affect us the way it used to.
yeah, no, definitely, definitely. Much
It's like,
calmer, yeah, in a
mm-mm,
weird way. But it's good because we're all going through this together and we're not alone. So there's nothing to fear.
nothing at all. It's very exciting. It's really cool. And it's also not like, wow.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I
very,
mean, but
yeah,
man, that was wow when I saw that with my clock. I
yeah.
mean, that's wow. But it wasn't big wow, you
Mhm.
know? I wasn't like falling on the ground. I just was incredible.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to feel that more and more, the incredibleness of life, the incredibleness of nature, the beauty,
Mhm.
the balance, the
Yeah. Coming back. Yeah.
what it brings to you. Oh, it's such a gift.
Right? You agree? I think he agrees.
I think he agrees. Oh, well, I'll let you get back to sleep, Axel. I don't want to disturb you.
Well, he was sleeping most of the day. So like,
He's my kind of guy.
yeah. But he had to come out to hang out with you because you're his number one girlfriend.
Oh, I love you, Axel. So sweet. Oh, it was great chatting with you, and we'll just keep on keeping on until next time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll,
So it's always a blessing to get together. So
it is
yeah.
indeed a great blessing. Lots of love, my dear,
I
and
love
we'll
you, dear.
talk soon. Love you.
Okay.
Love you, Axel.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everybody.